Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Catch Up Chaos, the first one in 2024. I'm planning to hopefully do more of these as I listen to more albums I've got to catch up on, excuse my hair, but I've got about 20 albums to go through for this one. As always, I'm going to try and get through them as fast as I possibly can. Just quick fire short reviews, nothing too much from me to add it, even though there's 20 fucking albums, so let's go. We begin with 21 Savage and his newest album, The American Dream. This is my first 21 Savage album, even though I heard about him. A very sort of introspective rap, mostly about his family life and things like that. Really nicely done, good production, I like essential performance. Bit of a long album, giving it a B+, by the way. Yeah, really solid themes, and I like the lyricism in points as well. It is a bit of a long sit, but it's still admittedly quite good. Next we have Abhoria with Depths, which I think is a blackish, doomy, death metal-y. It's a metal album, I can say that for it. Very dark themes, it does feel like it's trying to get through its stuff fast. I'm giving it a B. I did quite enjoy it. I thought it was pretty technically impressive. Good instrumentation. There was probably a good lyrical theme there, I can't tell you, but good heavy stuff and solid performance as well. Really good dedication and surprisingly good production too. Next we have Bull of Apis, Bull of Bronze with the Fractal Ouroboros, an album which I'm giving an A-. Pretty solid, straightforward prog metal-y stuff that does try and tell a concept. I feel like a few of the songs are a bit long and they can occasionally drag their feet, but it's still a very impressive album to say the least, and I liked a lot of the instrumentation on it, and I thought the production was good too. Next is Caligula's Horse with Charcoal Grace, their first album in 5 years. I covered their last one and quite liked it. I like this one a bit more, giving it an A. Just really good bit of, again, prog-leaning metal. It doesn't really waste as much time as Bull of Apis' album does. Really solid themes as well, good production, and great, lot of charisma from the band too. I like the influences that they put in here, more of a hardcore vibe to things at points, just really good, and a nice payoff by the end too, just solid shit. Next is The Clamps with a Megamouth, a stoner rock and roll sort of vibe on this one, which I've been giving a B. I thought in terms of riff work it was really good. I felt like the lyrics were a little bit basic, but overall instrumentation was quite good. The band do have like a sort of air of coolness to them, which I think helped. Production was suitably raw as well. It did feel like the pacing repeated itself a little bit, but still good stuff. Next we have Cognizance with Fantazine, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Good technical death metal. Giving it an A-. I liked I think I liked the riff work and the riff work and the guitar work more than anything on this album. I thought the drums were quite good too. Production's quite solid, and I liked how it managed to mixing the pacing a little bit as it went along. It does have maybe a couple of slight issues. For example, I couldn't really pin down an exact theme, but I did like most of what I heard, and it's just proper good techie stuff. Next is Engulf with the Dying Planet Weeps. More sort of proggy, techie metal stuff. A lot of metal in this video, by the way, I'm just realising. With a sort of sci-fi theme, which I couldn't really latch onto. I'm still giving it a B+, though, I thought, in terms of like just its instrumentation and its production as well. Really high quality on that. Yeah, like the guitar work, the drums were quite good. Like most of the stuff about this, and if they could have written the theme out a little bit better, I probably would have liked it a bit more. Still, really solid stuff. Next is Folly Group with Down There. I don't know how long Folly Group have been around. They're sort of like an indie rock experimental alternative band from the UK. I'm giving this one B+ as well. I liked all the weird elements that they tried to throw in on this one. It doesn't always land as well as I think it should, but it's interesting in a weird way, and weird in an interesting way. I thought the performances were really charming too. I liked a lot of the production. I liked the fact that they were just throwing shit at the wall, and quite a lot of it stuck, and, I'll look out for them. I'll look out for the next one, because this was a pleasant surprise. Next is Ghost Atlas with Dust of the Human Shape. Ghost Atlas is a sort of one-man project formed by a member or former member of a band called Error, who are a metal band. This is alternative rock sort of vibe, and I'm giving it a B. I thought it was really solid alternative rock, and I thought the main guy's performance was solid. I do feel like it felt a bit through the motions in terms of lyrics especially, but I do like the overarching theme. I thought the production of it was quite clean, so I will give it points for that. Overall, and the main performance was really solid as well. Next is If I Were You with the album With or Without. Really good wordplay on the album title especially. Giving it a B+. Solidly, surprisingly catchy post-hardcore vibes from this one. Really good production, really good emotion in the performances as well. Really enjoyed quite a lot of it, and these are another band I'll probably keep an eye out for. Good production, good performances, really good lyrics at points as well. I really liked a lot of the writing on this one. Next is Madame Autumn with the new album All Eyes New Heart. These are a sort of symphonic-ish, gothic-ish leaning prog metal bands. I like that they're working their elements to prog metal because I've covered that a fair bit in this video, haven't I? Really good work though, giving it a B. I thought the riffs were nice. I liked a lot of the lyrical themes. I think my main problem with it is just the thing I have with a lot of bands from around that area with female vocalists that sound similar, but again, it's a good style as well. Yeah, good riffs. Good pacing as well. I like that they try and mix in a different element to flesh it out a bit. And pretty good storytelling to boot. Next is Magnum with Here Comes the Rain. Probably the oldest serving band I've covered maybe ever. This band has been around since 1972. Giving this an A though. Really amazing modern sort of melodic hard rock with a good fantasy theme and undercurrent going through it. Good performances, really good pacing as well. Guitar, oh, my finger cracked. Guitar work was quite solid. Yeah, just a really fucking good modern day hard rock album from a band who's been doing it a while. And I think they're from Birmingham as well, so props to Midlands. Next is Malice with Of Scorched Earth, a surprisingly nicely put together bit of black metal. Considering how much of that I've heard this year, this was probably one of the better examples of the genre so far. A minus. Really liked the pacing and the build up and payoff was quite good, and it had surprisingly good themes and storytelling too. Instrumentation was great as well. I do think maybe the production might have needed some tweaking, but yeah, just a really good bit of black metal that actually tried to mix up the genre in some way. Next is Mega Colossus Showdown, probably the most traditional heavy metal act I've covered in this video. Giving this a B minus. I do think it personally needed a bit more of a country/western tinge, considering that there's a cool skeleton bounty hunter on the cover. I wanted them to lean more into that. Again, lyrics, a tiny bit on the basic side, but riff work is pretty solid. Pacing's quite good as well, and they've got a lot of attitude to them, which I think helps with selling points. Production, relatively simple, but you know, it's one of those simple but effective sort of things. Next is Morning Dawn with The Foam of Despair, a pretty sad and depressing Black Doom album, but I'm giving it an A, because holy hell, I was not expecting the genre to actually make me feel things for it in this year. Surprisingly emotional. Listen, bit of a sad one, but really good atmosphere, great instrumentation, good pacing as well, and really good lean into the theme. Probably one of my bigger recommends from this video. Next is, and I'm probably going to butcher this one, Savus Finis with Facilis Descensus Averno. Pretty solid, straightforward death metal album, giving it a B minus. I thought the instrumentation was really good. I thought the production and lyrics needed a few little adjustments here and there. I don't know why I did that for adjustments. You know, just imagine it's like dials I'm turning and not anything else. That's weird, but it's staying in. Yeah, good instrumentation, good performances. I wish I had more on themes and especially lyrical themes, but mostly good. Next is, and another one I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of, Scale, or Scale, I don't know, with Traverse the Beelock. This is a solo project by a Scottish man whose name I can't actually remember, but I think Scale is something like Scottish Gaelic for Phantom. Giving this an A+, and probably my favourite album of these catch-ups. Prog metal album with really good sort of western and nomadic influences, carrying a great theme through it. Great performance, really good production, amazing pacing as well. There's not many songs and they're all quite long, but they fucking build and create a great narrative. So yeah, fucking go and listen to this one. It's a long set, it's over an hour long, but it's really, really worth it, trust me. Next is Tenside with Come Alive Dying. Metalcore. I haven't really covered a lot of this year, to be honest. Solid, straightforward metalcore, giving it a B. I like the motivational and optimism attempted... I like the motivation and optimism attempted in the lyrics, there we go. Really good performance as well. I felt like it was a bit too clean in places, especially in terms of production, but as it is, really solid stuff. Again, a bit repetitive in terms of pacing, can blur on occasion, but not in a bad way, you know, and it's also just surprisingly heartwarming to have an album like this. Next is Vitriol with Suffer and Become. I'm giving it a C+. Another solid sort of deathish, blackish metal album. But there was something wrong with the production on this one. It's so weirdly grating and it feels way too under-detailed. In terms of the mix, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's good instrumentation to it because it's a very heavy album, and I think there's lyrical themes that indicate that. Performances are are good, but like there was something wrong with the production, and there's something off with the pacing as well. They just didn't really mix well for me. And finally, Yasin with their album The Scythe is Remorseless, which I'm giving a B minus. I liked it. I thought it was some pretty solid crust punk leaning hardcore. I do think the lyrics are a little bit weird at times, but the overall presentation and attitude and performances were really good. I did like most of the production in a weird way. I felt like, again, it felt a bit too clean, but not in an overtaking way. And the riff work was just pretty solid and fucking heavy as shit. That'll about do it. As always with these, I'm not doing like personal ranking systems. Just go and check them all out when you have the time. And considering there's 20 other fucking things, you might not have the time. But if I could recommend the ones I want you to check out the most, it'd probably be Morning Dawn, Scale, and Let Me, again, probably not pronouncing that right, Magnum, and Caligula's Horse. But as always, give all of them a spin. That will about do it. Then the next thing I'll see you for will probably be a Music of the Week episode on Thursday, and then the Go Home Show 4 on Friday. And tomorrow night I'll probably look to put up the previous show parts of my EFED. So look forward to that, and I'll see you whenever I see you. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.